meron nga mga defective complaints that will affect the validity. Kaya ito, question of law, na kailangan isabay doon. Anong nangyari? Meron din question of law doon sa bank secrecy law na sinama na rin.
Nagpapatuloy na po ang trial. Panoorin po natin.
George, floor leader.
Mr. President, may we recognize Senator Pia Cayetano and then Senator Ping Lacson.
The lady senator from Taguig is recognized.
Good afternoon. Mr. Witness, can you confirm that as president of a very large savings bank, you have a solemn duty to uphold the interests of your clients?
I do confirm, Your Honor.
And I imagine that as such, you take into consideration existing laws.
Of course, yes, Your Honor.
And the intention is, of course, to uphold the law.
Yes, Your Honor, at all times.
Now, you are aware of RA 6426, the law on the foreign currency deposit that has the general rule which requires that we respect the secrecy of foreign currency deposits.
I am aware of that, Your Honor.
And you're also aware of the written exception under the law,
I am aware, so, Your
which is,
Honor. Only by the consent and authorization of the depositor.
now, have you read the resolution of this impeachment court on the request for the issuances of subpoenas on the bank records?
Yes, Your Honor.
You've read it yourself,
Your
in toto?
The resolution,
Yes.
Your Honor, I have read.
Okay,
Sure.
so you are very much aware, and I will quote the paragraph in the second paragraph on page 5 that states, the court would like to emphasize that the non-disclosure of information relating to the bank accounts of individuals is still the general rule, and it has no intention of going against the public policy on this matter. However, the court is only issuing the subpoena relating to the bank accounts of Chief Justice Corona because of the pendency of the present impeachment proceedings and for no other reason.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are familiar with
I
that?
am familiar with that.
Okay. Now, I would like to put on record, Mr. Witness, that I personally, and I am quite certain the rest of my colleagues in the impeachment court, are one in upholding, because the majority did sign this resolution, are one in upholding this law. And it is very clear, as written in the resolution, that this exception is being made because of the pendency of the present impeachment proceedings. So we want to give you that assurance, that as your solemn duty to protect the interests of your client, this is not being made as a now en blanc exception that will open the floodgates to all kinds of exceptions to the rules. I want to be sure that that is understood by this witness.
Yes, I understand that, Your Honor.
Now, going back to the exception provided by Republic Act 6426, you also mentioned earlier that you are familiar with the case of Salvacion versus Central Bank of the Philippines.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have also read the case yourself, the entire case?
No, Your Honor. I just read the synopsis of the case.
May I request that you read the entire case, because you understand that this case provided another exception.
In that particular case, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor, and this exception was provided by the Supreme Court.
And I was listening to your testimony earlier. You stated that you stated it quite accurately that the exception was made because it involved a foreign national, and his accounts were the Supreme Court ruled that his foreign account could be opened in the interest of justice. In a nutshell, that was your understanding of the case.
In a nutshell, yes, Your Honor.
Yes. The reason why I would like to request that this witness, I'm not commanding you, I'm simply requesting that you read the entire case, because the explanation of what the interest of justice is being served is in this case, and you cannot read it by a mere synopsis.
I'll take your...
You will take my advice seriously?
Your advice, yes, seriously.
Because if you like, I can give you my personal copy with my highlighted... would you like my copy?
Well, if you would offer it...
I will give it to you. I will give it to you, and my bell has rung, so let me just very quickly read the emphasis that I had already put here. It states here that the application of the law depends on the extent of justice. I will skip the other parts, and it says further that this would negate Article 10 of the new Civil Code, which provides that in case of doubt in the interpretation or application of laws, it is presumed that the lawmaking body intended right and justice to prevail. So I ask that you read this case, because we are also asking that justice prevail, but that is for you. That is a decision that you are to make. The impeachment court has made their decision in the issuance of the resolution. So I will now ask the page to just hand you my personal copy. I hope you trust that this is not certified, but it is a faithful reproduction of the Supreme Court reports annotated.
Thank you, Your Honor, but as best as I can recall it, the Supreme Court also indicated that the exception is only made in this particular case, and no other case. As a matter of fact, as I have read it, the Supreme Court actually reinforced very strongly that all FCDU deposit accounts are covered by the FCDU law.
Yes, and I actually thank you for mentioning that, because I had wanted to end on another point. In the same way that the Supreme Court has very clearly indicated that this was a specific exception to the law, this impeachment court also makes an exception to the law. And I have also confirmed with you when I asked you some questions yesterday that you acknowledge that this impeachment court has the sole power to try impeachment cases. You also acknowledge that?
For impeachment cases, Your Honor, yes. But as I believe and as I understand, any exception to any law must be approved by the Supreme Court.
Well, I trust that over the weekend and with the personal copy I will hand you, you will at least think, give it serious thought, given the gravity of this matter and in the interest of justice. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Majority Floor Leader.
Senator Lacson, Mr. President.
Gentleman from Cavite.
Thank you, Mr. President. My manifestation would have involved the subpoena issued by this court in relation to the FCDUs. And since we are in receipt of an information that the Supreme Court has just issued a TRO in that regard, then I would like to defer to the caucus, which is scheduled on Monday, so we can discuss this thoroughly or extensively. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you. Yes, Mr. President, may we ask from the prosecution if they are suspending their direct examination?
From here on, in deference to the Supreme Court, the interpreter of the Constitution, and the guardian of basic rights guaranteed by the Bill of Rights, this chair would suggest and recommend to this impeaching court and the two sides of the case, the prosecutor and the panel, to take heed and let us discuss other issues other than foreign currency deposits because of the presence of a TRO by the Supreme Court, and we will discuss that in due time. Please, proceed.
Yes, prosecution.
We have move to discharge or temporarily excuse.
There is may we ask from the defense panel if they are ready to cross-examine the witness?
Your Honor, we're not yet, Your Honor, please. We're not yet through with our direct examination.
Okay?
Well,
And then cross-examination is deferred until they finish the direct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Any other?
We have another witness.
We have, Mr. President, Your Honor.
The witness is discharged temporarily, but you come back on Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. for
Mr.
the
President.
continuation of this trial.
Mr. President, may we have a 1 minute suspension